What's up guys, welcome to Remedy Official Vlogs again, and for today we're gonna have another review of an IEM, and today we have the Zenith ZEX Pro. Okay, before we start, I have reviewed the original ZEX, and this is my first review of a KZ product. But actually, the KZ lineup is not new to me. I first heard them when I was working in Manila with my church mates, and I've asked them what IEM is good to start with, and almost all of them recommended KZ. And I would like to thank Jeff Yang for providing this unit and for providing us updates on their products. Just a little bit of a disclaimer that my opinions here are completely my own, and you don't have to worry that my opinions will not be swayed, even though that these units are sent for free. I will give you a musician's perspective on this one. With this review, I would like to stress out that your setup when you are listening to your music might greatly differ from my experience. And for this review, I have auditioned the test tracks, with my trusty DAP player, the Hedis AP80 Pro. Actually, previously I used the LG V30, which is a very good DAP player also. DAP player. But I switched to AP80 because it has a more neutral sound signature. Thus, I believe that it offers the true sound of an IEM. Now, to give you a little bit of configuration and specification on the Zenith ZEX Pro, okay, we have one dynamic driver and again one magnetostatic driver for the highs, and the additional balance armature on this set compared to the original ZEX. It has an impedance of 16 ohms, which I think is very easy to drive, a sensitivity of 104 dB, and a frequency response of 20 Hz to 40 kHz. Okay guys, so we're gonna have a little unboxing here, very quick. So this is the Zenith ZEX Pro box, and it's quite small. Okay, it's very basic. It's one of my cons actually, and I'm wishing that on their new products, upcoming products, that there will be something new, like a new design, new inclusions, new tips, or even just the design. It will be, I wish. So once you slide the outer box, here's the IEM itself, the ZEX Pro. We ordered the rose gold. Okay, so actually this was designated to be of use for my wife, so I picked the rose gold colorway. And okay, this is the IEM, so you can pop it out like this. Okay, okay, so this is the right, and this one is the left. See, very nice. And actually it has a translucent back, which you can see all the wirings and the drivers. On the inner box, here it is, we have the cable inside the plastic. Okay, it's a SPC cable. It's very thin, and it's not that, there's nothing to expect from a very cheap IEM, but I think it does the job. So the terminal is a QDC, which actually is another con for me, because if you want to cable roll or change your cables, this might be an issue. So yes, so this, there it is. It's on the thin side, but I think it will last long enough. The other end is an L-shaped terminal also, like 3.5mm jack. And we have also one plastic the tips. Okay, if you like to look at that one, we have two pairs of extra tips, silicone tips. So I don't know how you will see this, but we have the big ones, the large ones, and the small size. So basically that's it. That's the package of oh wait, there's a little user guide here. And basically that's it for the unboxing of the KZ ZEX Pro. Now moving on to the review on how the ZEX Pro sounded to my ears. We'll start with the lows. Okay, the lows here compared to the original ZEX is there's not so much difference, like night and day, but still the ZEX Pro offers a mature bass response, and actually that's a treat. As I've mentioned on my ZEX review, that the ZEX was a very good start if you are maturing away from V-shape and U-shape sound signatures. It's still U-shape, but it's one of the mature sounding IEMs from ZEX that I've heard. One example is Rage Against the Machines. The bass gave me a somewhat thunderous effect. And on my classic tracks, like the Earth, Wind and Fire, I really like how the bass was very mature. You know, it didn't sound bloated. Though the bass here are elevated, it is nicely elevated to give you that enjoyable listening experience. Now onto the mids. Okay, there's a new driver on the ZEX Pro compared to the ZEX, and that is the additional one balance armature. And because of this, I was expecting the mids to be better, but actually it was quite the same. If there's an improvement, it's only by a very small margin, but still the mids here are very good. It has nice texture, but not that resolving. You know, I'm a mid-centric guy. I always say that in my reviews, and I really like my mids forward. And on the ZEX Pro, the mids are a little bit recessed, but there's nothing to hate here. Now vocals are still good. They are not bad, but they are not that engaging. Well, compared to those IEMs that I have, like BQ's Autumn and T-Force Yuan Li, the mids of the ZEX Pro is not my preference. Now onto the trebles. Now this is the part where I think the ZEX Pro needs improvement. You know, 20% of my playlist, I would encounter some pickiness, like some sibilance. But don't worry, 80% of that is gave me a sibilance-free experience. You know, sometimes the cymbals can be quite splashy, can be piercing sometimes. Conclusively, trebles here have that sparkle and openness on top. It has the right amount of energy to give you that micro or macro details. Now into the fitting, seal or isolation. So let's give it a try. So let's fit this one in. It's really comfortable, and this is how it looks. It's very comfortable to wear, and it didn't give me any kind of ear pain. I think when I reviewed this, I'm on a 3-hour streak, and surprisingly, it didn't give me any fatigue on the ears. Now, isolation on the other hand is like average. It didn't give me complete isolation, but it's good. You know, actually, that's kind of safe if you are walking or jogging or something like that, because at least you can hear like 30% of the outside noise, so that you will not be hit by a car or a bicycle behind you. Onto some technicalities, and I think this is where also the ZEX Pro needs a little bit of improvement. Soundstage there's nothing spectacular about it, but it has that headspace, like something like this. No, not wide, but it's not cramped also, but it's not really wide. It's still commendable. Now imaging, on the other hand, is very good. Like I listen to some instrumental tracks and I can sense the panning of instruments on different position. Now I would like to include scaling. I noticed that if you play ZEX Pro on a high gain impedance, like my V30 has a high gain impedance, and also my AP80 Pro has a high gain impedance, so the trebles tend to be more splashy, shouty, and piercing. I think we're ready to give the verdict. So the ZEX Pro still is one of the mature KZ lineup that I have listened to. And I think if you are starting to grow tired of the usual V-shape, don't get me wrong, I don't have anything against those tuning. But if you want an introduction to neutral sound, balanced sound, I think the ZEX Pro, even the original ZEX, is a very good start. Now if you're gonna ask me how does it compare to the original ZEX, it's only has improved by a small margin. My only qualms on the ZEX Pro is the occasional pickiness or shoutiness on top. Now for its price point, I think the ZEX Pro is a very good set. Like 70 or 60% of my playlist I still enjoyed here, but it just doesn't suit my preference, you know, especially the recessed mids and the pickiness on treble. On the lows I have no qualms. I think the KZ ZEX Pro is on the right track when it comes to lows. So I think that's it. If you like the content, don't forget to like, watch, subscribe it, and hit that notification bell to stay updated. Please do support the channel and watch my other reviews, and I hope you find them useful. Again, this is my own opinion, and your mileage may and always will vary. So till the next time, this is Ed's Remedy Official Vlogs. See you on the next one.